Hello, folks. It's Richard Moore, and I'm obviously burning the midnight oil for reasons I'll explain here in just a few seconds. I'm still uploading an important video that's about 24 hours into uploading. In a normal world, that's obviously not normal. And so for those that are a little bit enlightened of what's going on, then you already know the answer to the connectivity issues, especially when someone like me exercising his constitutional protected free speech and as an alternative media reporter and being in a sea of corruption. And it's really painting it lightly. This message is specifically, if I can get the word out, for the Department of Justice. Moreover, U.S. Attorney Clay Joyner and Assistant U.S. Attorney Rob Coleman, Oxford, Mississippi. I am fully aware, as all the members of law enforcement are aware of everything that every citizen does online, text, emails, etc. I'm no exception to the rule. So we'll skip all the pleasantries. Now let's get right down to some very serious business. And these serious allegations that I'm making are substantial with solid, verifiable, ironclad merit. No holds barred. I first want to reference you to two federal actions in court at this very moment. Richard Moore versus Union County, Mississippi, and others. This includes Sheriff Jimmy Edwards, his investigators, emergency management members, and state actors. The case number 3:21 CV 00158. Richard Moore versus Jim H. Johnson and others, Lee County. And I want to highlight investigator Robert Bean. That cause number is 3:21 CV 120. Both in the United States District Court for the Northern District of Mississippi, Oxford Division. I'm filing an emergency TRO that I fully expect to be granted, and I fully expect for a hearing. Due to the nature of this motion, it takes a precedence over any other pending business in the court. I'm sure the defendants, as well as the Department of Justice, is well aware of what I'm saying. Last week, a charade of biblical proportions carried out by law enforcement. It started with a phenomenal showing of sheriff's deputies beating on my doors and windows for a couple of days, and then being swatted in Lee County in a parking lot, said they were acting off a tip. Now keep in mind, the reason these individuals will be in federal court, and for those that have been told, well, they don't get any ground, we're targeting him, he's a bad person, all these lies and hat tricks and shenanigans, is going to come to a screeching halt. So I'm detained, and of course Mississippi doesn't have a Terry stop where they can just pull up on someone in a parking lot and force them to ID, unless they have a reasonable suspicion or a reasonable articulable suspicion that I've committed a crime. They couldn't cite that. Well, give me your ID and we're going to see if you got a warrant. And so after that charade ended, well, it was the wrong Richard Moore. You're free to go. This is the game that Lee County and Union County play. So we harass, and then we swat him, and then we love bomb him. We just drop him, and he lets down his guard, and we put him on this psychological psyop yo-yo. And 3 days later, I have 20 plus Union County law enforcement officials in my front lawn, while the area pervert, coward, stalkers working Project Safe Neighborhood and community-oriented policing, misuse of federal funds is an understatement. While they stalked and paraded by and gloated, I was told that my vehicle was going to be towed based on a warrant from Bobby Bean in Lee County. And there was a warrant for me. And they had to take me to jail. They didn't have a warrant to show me, nor could they tell me the nature of the warrant. I was transported to Union County, picked up by a low IQ, smartass deputy from Lee County that had no warrant. He was just told there was a warrant. Because these stalkers are told that they can break in and steal and they can have whatever they want of mine and nothing to be done about it, because law enforcement's told them that, and they have done their dead level best to live up to that. But we've got a little problem there. The problem is with me because I don't dance to that tune. My success as an American citizen in life does not live and die by what some peon, pathetic criminal with a badge is telling other pathetic peon criminals. Alpine, Mississippi is the epitome of pathetic cowards. Again, they saw me out walking tonight and they could drive real fast, but their brakes don't work. One thing they've got in common is a yellow streak a mile long on every one of them's back. Can't pump the brakes. Hey, you got an axe to grind with me? You got a beef with me? You don't like me? Hit the brakes, cowboy. step on out and talk to me. I didn't think so. What you can't deal with is a real person. Union County, a sheriff's department, along with Lee County Sheriff's Department, stole my vehicle. It's paid for, safe and secure on private property. They removed the vehicle. They had no warrant, no order, no permission to remove my vehicle from my property. Nor did they have a warrant or permission to remove evidence and legal files in the trunk of that vehicle. That is the core of both of these federal cases I just cited. We have a tow company that is also criminally negligent. They left a search warrant in the front seat of my car, and Bobby Bean removed all of my cameras. They want me to shut up. They want to stop me from broadcasting the truth and shedding light on what these criminals are doing. I have methodically been planning and strategizing at record speed with these clowns for years. I've been reluctant to ever show any cards of what's really going on because they hang on everything you say and do, and they predict their actions based on that. Several years of countless rats injected into my life to ferret out information where they could strategize and develop some type of fake crime and wish to commit me for, like they did in 2005 in Monroe County, Mississippi. Bobby Bean was working for Amory, Mississippi Police Department when that took place. So here's some cards that I've not shared that I will now. Not only did Bobby Bean illegally and wrongfully and recklessly call the shot on having my vehicle towed in order to inflict a financial burden and cause irreparable harm. I did suffer a stroke while detained in Lee County Jail. The heart of this legal proceeding was the torture in Lee County Jail, and that visit was initiated by Bobby Bean for exercising my constitutionally protected free speech of making unflattering statements about a CBA, a community-based agent, that I photographed on my property stalking. And he gets a warrant for cyber stalking. And for you judges that are co-signing and rubber stamping these things and thinking that you have judicial immunity, think again. Think again. You don't. Oh, you don't. And you're going right along with it because you think it's too big to fail. No, the damn lie is too big to ever get any footing. With each rat inserted in my life, I inserted information into that rat's life. Eventually, that information that's inserted will come full circle. You learn who your rat is, and you learn the chain of command from the rat to the law enforcement that initiates the arrest. Bobby Bean, you've lied several times under oath. The farthest you've ever gone in life is being an investigator for a very corrupt sheriff's department in Tupelo, Mississippi. Okay? We're not in the same league. Intellectually, or morally, or any other metric you'd like to measure it from. Due to my frankness and outspoken opinions about the Freemasons and Bobby Bean being a master Mason. One rat was giving one piece of information. That rat gave it to his Masonic master Mason handler. It's in Union County, which in turn gave it to Bobby Bean. You see, Bobby Bean and all the drones, the best they can come up with is inconclusive. It's a lot of money and time, Bobby. So Bobby comes up with a good story. But I've got the truth, Bobby, that will prove unequivocally that every single statement you made and swore to is in fact a lie. A lie. Title 18, Section 242 was written for you, Bobby Bean, and your master, Jim H. Johnson. And same goes for Jimmy Edwards and Jim Myers. The murders that you've lied about and covered up, they will come to light. The rat, the Masonic handler, the conversation with Bobby Bean, and the victim that doesn't even know me. The real story is these community-oriented creeping perverts conspiring with law enforcement to violate my Fourth Amendment right. Lying under oath, making a wrongful and reckless and unlawful arrest, financially dragging myself and my family. Those chickens have come home to roost. I don't need to say it in too many different ways. Philip Whitehead is going to pick my cameras up tomorrow. I don't know what ass clown judge fell for your donkey ass lie. That will be public, very public. I anticipate not just what I'm doing, but my supporters around the globe to make sure that this message falls in all the appropriate hands. We have the case that is perfect for SCOTUS. And I'm going to tell you another thing. General Lynn Fitch, while it may be popular and a real swoon in the South in the buckle of the Bible Belt, and we won't talk about your Ku Klux Klan heritage or any of these other things, you trying your best to get your name on getting Roe v. Wade overturned to ensure your political career is a long and successful one. Until it's not. That will not be what you hang your hat on, Lynn Fitch. You'll hang your hat on the fact that you have willfully and recklessly and wrongfully consented and allowed thousands of Mississippians to have their civil and constitutional rights systematically violated and justice denied. We're supposed to believe that you care about an unborn child, yet the living and breathing and walking and voting and tax-paying citizen, you could care less. Which is it, Lynn Fitch? Other than trying to get votes, you have absolutely disgraced the office of Mississippi Attorney General. Like your counterparts at Lee, Union, Chickasaw County, Mississippi, to name a few. Oh, it's a lot of money for Cindy Hyde Smith when you drag in these millions for community-oriented policing. But what you're not telling people while you're standing up there praying, a prayer that I'm fairly satisfied doesn't get any higher than the ceiling of the room you're praying it in. You see, God does not contradict himself. God can't be telling his children one thing and be telling the other children something else. And for you community-oriented stalking, coward perverts, thinking you can beat God and that justice. The thought, according to God, is just as good as it rolling off your lips. God's got something for you. And it usually comes in forms of something like me. Bobby Bean stole with Union County my vehicle. I want that returned. And if you think, and they're telling me I've got to pay them $700 to get my car back that was stolen from my property, where in the hell they do that at? Let me tell you what, that ain't happening. That dog won't hunt. And the quicker you get Bobby Bean and them ass clowns in chains, the better. So boys, y'all better figure out how to get my car back to me. And don't wait too long. About tomorrow, I think is going to be your limit on that. He's going to be buying me a new one. And kiss my ass if you don't think that's not going to happen. While in Lee County Jail, multiple times I requested a U.S. Marshal or someone from the U.S. Attorney's Office due to the obvious conflict of interest. That was denied. And I quote, the jail administrator said, Danny McKittrick, which is the director of U.S. Marshal Service in Oxford, doesn't give a damn about anything that you're wanting or talking about. So, Daniel McKittrick, I'd like for you to, I may call you, and I want you to clear the record up for me and for everybody else on that, where you stand on that deal. I'm not saying that that's not where you stand, but let's go ahead and clear the record. I do know that you do have a propensity to change the story, and you do know what I'm talking about. After a while, these sleight of hand story changing deals get old. Bobby Bean, you thought you had an ironclad story. That's all it is a story. And it's called a lie. And that's not what we are paying you for. You tout yourself as something that you're not. Anyone that thinks that Robert Bean or any of these other people are anything more than what I just said fall in their cap of being a absolute zero. You're spitting on the graves of the hundreds and thousands of men and women that fought and died to give us our Constitution and our civil liberties. How dare you, Robert Bean, or anybody else wearing a badge, playing along with these lies and this deceit and these bullshit campaigns to destroy American citizens. In your psyops, did you ever consider that two can play at that game? Bobby Bean, you have no idea. I know what you thought about this morning. I don't know what you're thinking about before you go to bed. I don't know what you've got on your plate, but you can believe one thing. Not a day goes by, not a minute passes, that I'm not thinking about you and your corrupt clutch of cowards. And I plan, and I study, and I listen, and I watch. You see, your psyops can only go so far, especially when you're screwing with somebody that's way better than you ever thought about being. I don't belong to a secret fraternal order of satanic liars. I've been your clown long enough. I've played the part long enough. And now the fat lady's going to sing. I've got the facts to march out everything I've just made on this public statement. How many times has Union County and Lee County Sheriff's Department told me if I did not stop exercising my constitutional protected free speech, they would continue to arrest me, continue to drag me financially, destroying automobiles, destroying private property, assaulting, drugging, attempted murder, stealing my car, and all I get. That guy better shut up, man. Quit talking about it. I'm going to tell you what. Thank God I don't live in a country that was built by that coward, lying mentality. I speak for God-fearing, country-loving, red-blooded Americans. By the way, you don't. Don't flatter yourself thinking you do. You're not a hero. You're nothing but a pathetic drain on the tax system. Again, that's keeping it very mild. I think that stealing a vehicle and causing physical irreparable harm and your dereliction of duty, refusing to bow out, and you, whoever the judge, I can't get that. The Lee County won't up who signed that warrant. I'm going to find out. And I'm going to tell you another thing, Bobby Bean. By God, let me tell you one thing. You better not think about denying me a fast and speedy trial. Don't you even think about dragging it. I don't want it to go away, sweetheart. I don't. I want it to happen yesterday, because we're going to have that real conversation. And we're going to do it in a public forum. And your lying will come to a screeching halt. And then we're going to see how many people and lives you've destroyed and people that are incarcerated based off your lies. We'll separate the wheat from the chaff. All this pomp and circumstance, showing your ass, showing up on my property, stalking, terrorizing, thinking you're going to reduce me and annihilate me. Isn't that your plan? I don't think the federal judges will be amused. Department of Justice, you have officially been given these very serious allegations, and this criminal complaint is now official. I've named the criminals, some in part. I'll be more than happy to line up everything necessary to substantiate every jot and every tittle of everything I have just talked about. This is a put up or shut up. I'm not shutting up until we start seeing some of these people marched out of our facilities that we paid for, that they've been sitting on their ass, lying, cutting deals, running a rat syndicate, and telling lies left and right, all the way down these podunk, kangaroo judges, acting like, and I'm telling you, I'm not a lawyer. Hell, neither are they. It's rare to find one that's a lawyer. All you got to have in Mississippi is a damn GED. You don't have judicial immunity. These are very serious felonies. It's a culture, a cancer. I don't envy any of you perverted, stalking cowards running around or zooming by. You're nothing. It won't ever be anything. You are identified simply by your actions. You're zero. You have no business even living in this country. This country's in the shape it's in because of people like you. Will go for anything. Will do anything to protect the lie. God help them if their secrets get out. As I've disclosed in the past, if law enforcement is really interested, from school teachers raping children to dirty cops peddling dope and these backroom deals, prove it. Now, I've been putting you on it. I've been putting you on the names. I sure have. I'd be able to get interviewed. What is it, you don't want to hear it? You don't care about it? Or what is it? Not because too many of you got shit on your shoes. And you don't want to get dirty. Well, guess what? You're going to get dirty. Well, make sure you get dirty. So my message is this. Boys, I'm not anywhere near shutting up. I showed you a few cards. Bobby B, you think you got the perfect crime, a slam dunk. I want you to consider something for a minute. You stepped in to my glue trap. I got you. I got you in spades. You can't explain or lie or anything else that way. And so these people co-signing these warrants and all this stuff and stealing my car and stuff and all this crap and stealing money from my family, it's bondsmen and all your bullshit. That's what you get. Bobby B's not the only one. You boys in Union County, Chickasaw County. If you think somehow you've escaped, you've done the same thing. Those cards have not been played yet. They're slam dunks. They're slam dunks. You've had plenty of opportunity to pump the brakes and to shut your damn mouth. But no, you've made me your number one priority. And that's fine. You're my number one priority. Folks, share, subscribe, and like. I'm counting on you to help me, help this country, to help itself by rooting out this cancer with badges that are destroying lives. Until next time, God bless you.